This conference will now be recorded.
Hello.
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 Yeah, hi Jyoti.
Hello, Purna garu.
Hi. So how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. So how is your practice, Jyoti?
Yeah, it's going good.
You have done your graduation, right? BTech, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But since COVID, we didn't have any official ceremony, but
Mhm. Due to COVID, you don't have?
official ceremony for grad walk and all.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine, fine. So coming to the things like we have discussed implicit and directive elements,
Mm-hmm.
and we have like action elements and expression language and MVC and JSTL. Action. These are dynamic. We have action forward and include. But other than that, we have JSP colon forward, JSP colon include, JSP colon use bin, JSP set, JSP get. Whatever you see, JSP with this colon and whatever you see, they're called action tags. JSP forward, JSP include, JSP use bin, JSP set property, JSP get property, JSP plugin, param, JSP fallback. All these are all action tags. That
Mm-hmm.
means they're dynamic tags. Dynamic changes, you can get it with these things. I use it to control the flow between the pages to use Java bean. The JSP action tags are given below. If I want to use a Java class, I can directly use it instead of going through a servlet or something. I don't need to go it. I can directly use that Java class in my JSP page by using
Mm-hmm.
JSP use bean. JSP colon forward forwards the request and responds to other resource. Apart from that, we have a response dot send redirect response dot request dispatch. But apart from that, we have JSP forward and JSP include. These are all dynamic things from application to application we can do. Includes another resource, creates the or locates a bean object, sets the values for the given use bean. Let's say I would like to forward from a page to another page. I mean, from JSP page, we have got some requests, and from there, I would like to forward. If I don't use JSP forward, I have to first of all, I have to get a response dot request to dispatcher, and then I need to call forward method. Instead of doing that, we have a JSP forward page, forward action element. I can maintain to which resource I want to send it, that
Mm-hmm.
relative URL, and what is that expression. Let's say we have an index.jsp page or some JSP page. And
Mm-hmm.
here, this when I come to here, what it is going to do directly, it will not go to this page. Indirectly, it will forward to print date JSP.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my main page is this, but still, it will not go over here. Directly,
Little
it
directly. Oh.
goes to this page.
Yeah, I've done all these examples till
You have done
JSTL.
that.
Yeah, I've done till JSTL C. What is? Oh my God, what is that C thing? Before till before functions, I did. I've
Uh-huh.
done core tags, JSTL core tags, right? All the C
Okay,
to core tags. Yeah.
okay. So you got the execution.
Yeah, I'm getting executions done. You just have to down. Oh my, what was the error? I didn't get it for so much time, but then I did something. I have to put the jar file somewhere else. That is why it was not executing for most of the time. But
Okay.
then later, I was just changing all my files to different directories, and then it started working.
Okay. So if suppose servlet API.jar files or something, if it missed,
Yeah, we have to put the JSTL file in the Tomcat file. Yes.
JSTL should be there. So
Yeah.
JSTL, when you are working, I forgot to tell you, there is a JSTL 1.2 jar, that file you have to
Mhm.
configure in your build path, or you have to keep it inside the lib folder.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was just putting directly as if, I'm putting the servlet jar. I was putting JSTL and I was trying. I didn't get for so much time. I was watching some YouTube video. Someone put it in Tomcat library. I put it in Tomcat library, then it started working.
Okay, okay. Hmm. So if you keep for the Tomcat, so it is for any application it works. But if you are working for an individual project, so what is better to do is we can keep that one inside your library folder. If you have any web application, there you will be having a lib folder, right? Inside the web
Hmm.
content, web env.
Yeah, yeah,
Here I can copy and paste it.
yeah.
If
Okay,
I'm using paste here, it's compulsory.
okay.
That's a jar file. When you're working with JSTL, we need to add it as
Hmm.
part of.
Okay.
Mm. We can use a general include, but apart from that, we have a JSP include also. If you want to
Hmm.
use any page in my index page, I want to get print the JSP page uh, data in my index.jsp.
Yeah,
In
it
this,
gets that also and prints between these tags itself,
yeah, then
whatever is
I
there in that page.
right. That's it. This is
Hmm.
index page. In the index page only we are including.
Yeah.
Forward means it forward to the next page. Index include means in the same page it will add this extra thing
Hmm.
within the same page. So why action elements? Action elements for a specific purpose. They are called dynamic tags. Where if you want to forward something or where you want to set your properties for your bean class, these action tags or action elements are useful. Suppose I have created a employee class. This employee class contains some set of properties like ID and name. So that means it is my Java class. So
Hmm.
this is the bean class. This bean class, I wanted to set the values for this bean class. If I want to set the values for my bean class, I have to create an object and I have to set the values if it is a standalone application. But how to do the same thing in your servlet means we know, so the servlet also will be creating an object and will be setting. But how to set the properties for a bean by using JSP using? What we have to do? We have to write we have to write the tag use bean. And what is the class name? The class name is, let's say, employee, from which package it is, complete class with package. And the reference of this class is obj. So that is we are setting it as ID
Hmm.
obj. Now this class contains normal methods. So I can call directly the methods of that obj.q. If I have an employee, these things and all, I can say JSP colon. I can use the property tags in the use in set properties and get properties we have. See, I think here he has given example, right example. Yeah. Suppose I have a form and this form contains a name, password, email. And as I submit, it's going to take me to the process.jsp page. And
Hmm.
now what am I going to do is I'm going to read all the values actually. I want to
Yeah.
read all the values from the form, and these values are, I would like to, I can read the values in my JSP by getting a request.get parameter, request.get parameter from all the property names. I can get it in the JSP. But the thing is, I'm getting the properties by using a B class. I want to set it to a B. That's the reason what we are doing is I'm using a bean so that this object here we are not using for any other purpose. This object I use it for some other purpose. Once the object is created, I can have a n number of ways of implementation. That's the reason it's not a good practice that directly we never use a direct form value setting these things, because there will be a number of classes. One model class will not be there. N number of model classes will be there. So if I want to set, or if I want to read all the values, I can read it in my JSP, but that's not the thing. I need to separate individually. So that's the reason we are going to create a user bean or user model class separately. Do this model, whatever the form data we are getting, that we are going to set up from the form to user object. To do that, first I need to get my bean class. I'm getting the class that is user, which contains some properties, and it contains the properties like 5 or 6 properties. So set all the properties. Star means
All properties.
all the properties to you. Okay, you are setting all the properties to you. Okay, set property equal to star means all the properties. Okay, fine. But from where you are going to set get the properties first of all? You are setting it fine. You are setting it fine. But where the properties you are getting it? So that's the reason I have to write it first to get property, the name of the property from the form what you are getting, and I'm setting it to you, name and password you, and email equal to you. So that means here one point we need to observe: the name, password, email, whatever you are using, this should be of your user class. That should be of your user class. And this star is from the form values. That
Mm-hmm.
might be any other name. N, I can have P, sorry, NPE I can have. So NPE, whatever it may be, I can have it, and I'm setting it to you. All the properties we are setting it to you. So in that case, but individually, you you to which property it has to assign. You value whatever you are getting, that is the first property I'm setting it to name, and the second property I'm getting it, that is password, and that is email. So in this way I'm getting all the properties. And now Sonu Jaiswal something, enter the name I have entered. Go. Welcome Sonu Jaiswal.
Maybe they didn't give this code.
Now the NPO, this is
Yeah,
not a
same
problem.
as the voice again. Okay.
Have you understood this, Jyoti?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, they right now I'm not able to figure out, but yesterday I did. There was something missing. It's not this code. Them I think they're supposed to put some other code which they didn't put. Like the name, password, everything should come, right? Only name is coming. So I thought they gave some other example and put some other example there.
Mm. JSP set property name equal to
Only name they've taken, yeah.
obj property star all the values, get property, and then you are going to get it. So they have given in a reverse way. First we need to set that's correct one, set property obj equal to star all the form values, set it to when it available to object, and then so when you are using, the names must be same, your property names must be same what you are giving in the form also, otherwise it won't work. So here only one field we have, so when you have multiple fields, then multiple times I have to set it. Only one this thing if I use, that won't work. I have to set it like this, property name equal to you, like this. Set property equal to star name equal to you. That's it. You got it right. Anyway, we can do it at this one. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So the next one is like we'll see expression language. Expression language or EL expressions we call it as JSCL or Java expression language. So sometimes we don't want to write the code. For simple things, you don't need to write it. For that reason, we have some, we have implicit objects. They are different. 9 implicit objects. Apart from that, implicit objects are for expression language. There are implicit objects for expression language. That is different. Their objects are page. Okay, implicit objects generally we have page, request, session, application. But now the implicit objects are page scope, request scope, scope extra is coming, application scope, param values, header. So these are implicit objects for your JSP. In the expression language, I have a form. So if this form value I want to read it in my JSP, I have to say request dot get parameter. I have to say or yeah, in the scriptlet tag. But instead of doing that, for a simple form value reading that, why shouldn't I have some other alternate? For that they have given a param object. With the help of param object, you can get this name. If I say the property, this is your property. If I say password, param dot password. If I say email, param dot email. So directly, this is my expression. Dollar, this open parenthesis and closing parenthesis is my expression. Here, I can print the values. This is very simple, writing instead of request.get parameters. For simple things, you can use expression language for reading a simple list and all. And what if I would like to set a session scope variable if I want to get it, and what I have to do? So I have a form, and in the index.jsp, I set it some attribute. I want to read it that session scope value. So if I want to read it, I can use a session dot again get attribute. I have to write it. Instead of that, what I can do in the scriptlet tag, Instead of that, directly I can write a dollar in any the JSP page. I don't need any extra thing. Dollar expression and session scope dot user. Get me that
User.
user name. We have been set it as a session variable.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'll also set the cookies. I want to read that cookie what I have been set it. Cookie dot the name dot what is the value you have been set it
Abhishek.
dot value. So that's the way your uh, expression language will work out. Directly, we can read the properties. We don't need to write a express like scripted tag, request.get parameters. These things we are avoiding. For simple values, if you want to get it directly, you can use expression languages. So cookies, session scope, parameters, if I want to read it. And what else? Uh, mm, mm, yeah, init parameters, application scope. Basically, we'll read this parameter values in general. Param we'll use, and sometimes session scope. So remaining other cases we don't use. These are all the implicit objects in the expression language. Dollar, the code, what do you say? The syntax, whatever you see, that is your expression language syntax. For that, you need to use implicit objects. Without implicit objects, if you write a name or something directly, you cannot write it. You have to use this object and you have to use that language expression tags. Then
Mm-hmm.
only it works. Okay, Jyoti, is that okay?
Yeah.
You have done it, right? This one also.
Yeah.
JSTL also you have done it.
Yes.
So, okay. So what is the JSTL? What did you understand?
Uh, it makes it same like JSP, just that it makes things faster using the tags.
Okay. See,
And
basically, in the
yeah.
scripted tag, if I want to read a form values, I have to write a, I don't need to write if condition, for loop condition. I have to write it. I can write it in the scripted tag. Apart from that, JSP have provided some standard tag libraries. Standard tag libraries. It has provided some standard tag libraries. So these standard tag libraries, we can, if you want to use it, you can use it. The libraries they have provided as core function formatting and XML and SQL. Generally, we use core tags. Generally, this function formatting very rare cases. XML tags we don't use it. So we are much for we our focus will be much on what do you say this core tags.
Mm.
If I want to print some data, if I want to apply some for loop, if I want to retrieve some data, then I'll go for this code tags. See, I have form and I have some values to add it to an object or something. All the object values I would like to retrieve. In that case, I use for each, and what is the variable where it is going to start. J is and begin with 1 and end with 3. How many times it has to repeat? So it has to start from 1 and it has to print 3. So here what we are doing is we are just printing the values which I have created here itself, but that's not the way. Basically, we will be reading from a database and those values we would like to print it. For that, you need a bean class. So the bean you have to get it, and from the bean you have to retrieve it. It is directly there retrieving, but
Yeah.
we should not use directly. We will be having a database values. That values you need to get a DAO. The help of DAO. On that DAO object, you have to write this for each loop. Cout and which is the bean you have to maintain. Then you have to import it. You have to retrieve the values. Cout means directly printing the value. Code tags like out is set.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what?
I've done all the tags, setting the value.
Okay.
You can display, yeah. You can remove that variable or from the
Right. Perfect.
code.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So That's it. URL redirect if you want to redirect to any page. Generally, we don't
Yeah,
use
it is even in the Eclipse itself, it is redirecting to whatever page you have given, Facebook, Java point, it is pulling up the data.
you got it, that one also. You got it.
I thought first it will open in the browser, but then it is opening inside my, where the servlet thing is running itself in the Eclipse. It is pulling all the data and displaying also, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if you want to redirect to a URL also, we have redirect to URL, whatever. We don't need to use send redirect also. So faster things, we are going to make it more faster. Go for JST.
Mm-hmm.
Expression language. If you want to print it something from any scope, if you want to get something, then go for expression language. When you want to do quick actions, then go for JST Cortex. That's how it works out. So what is JSP? JSP is nothing but scripting elements, implicit objects, directive elements, action elements, JSTL, and expression language. Now, can I create my own standard tag library? Yes, we can create our own tag library also. So far, C means core tags. Can I create my own standard tag libraries? Yes, you can create it. How do you create it? Tag library. So for that, you need to create a first of all a class. So iteration tag. Okay. Custom tag. So if I want to create a custom tag, can I create a custom tag? Yes. So how do you create a custom tag and how do you add it to your file? TLD file. See, if I want to use a core tags, I need to import a tag library directly and the prefix I have to give C. So if you want to create your own class as a tag, you can create it. So my tag name is my handler, and this tag I'm going to give I want to make it as a tag. To make it as a tag, first my class should extend tag support. There is a predefined class called tag support. After extending this, write your method. I have a method do start tag, some method do start tag, which is going to throws JSP exception. And in this, I'm going to write what it has to do. So JSP writer, I'm going to get it a writer object and saying that as it is a class, I'm writing a Java code. JSP writer out page context dot get out. So returns the instance of JSP writer. So it is gives me instance object. Now here what I'm doing is after getting the writer, I'm saying that if I call this do start tag, what is it is going to do? It is going to give me calendar dot get instance and dot get time. It's going to give me current time.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever I would like to use the current date and time, I don't need to write again import java.util.get calendar. You don't need to write everything. You can directly use the predefined class my tag handler, and there it contains the method. But how do you call this method? We have created this class. Now I need to add it to a file. That is, I need to create a library file. So for that, what we are doing is with this your file name, you can keep anything. We are going to create a file called mytags.tld. In that tld, what I'm writing is I'm writing something tag library and tag library version, JSP version, something like that. Anything you can give. Short name, simple it seems. So if I want to use it, I can use it with the short name, simple, and tag my tag name. So I don't want to write complete code. If I say the tag name today, so it gives me get me this class. So it contains a method. Okay, so tag name and the tag class under this, the name should be today. So this one I made it as a TLD file. So TLD file, so I'm adding it to the TLD. So what is that file? Tomcat.apache.org.example tag live. I need to add it to the user defined file. Now I've added. Now what am I doing is I would like to, okay, that is TLD file. Okay. So that is TLD file. My tags.tld I have created. Now I would like to use it in my JSP file. To use it in the JSP file, first I need to import that tag lib. Where is that tag lib? I am going to keep in some WebInf. So write that one. And what is a prefix of this? You can use any prefix for this. So it's a user defined.
Okay.
You can keep any prefix. So if you see that is code tags, but it is M or K anything. So I'm saying the prefix for my tags .tld file is M. I'm saying I can say K also. K I said. Let's say K. So K, and what is the tag name we have today? If I say K colon today, it gives me in return the date of uh, current day because it contains the method to print get date tag. So where we are calling do start tag, we don't need to call this do start tag. It's a predefined method. Okay, it's a predefined method returns the instance of your writing class. So that's the reason we are not writing. So we are not going to call this method directly. Okay, we are going to give a tag name to the associated class. That's the way we have created a simple tag library. So this is very rare case you will be creating a tag library. We don't have a time to create a tag libraries.
Yeah.
There are many tags provided by JSP, so the Spring itself. So no, so it's nowhere 90% you don't use it. Any tag libraries. Just have a look into the custom tag. Okay, example of JSP custom tag.
Yes.
JSP file first using the tag. Who will use this JSP file? So from where it has to use that, first I need to create a TLD file. This TLD file requires what? Tag library, tag handler class. It has to extend a class. It has to three things here. Tag handler class is required. Tag library file should be generated. That file I need to import in my JSP file, and then what is the tag name I have to create? That tag name I have to call. Page context class provides get out method. Returns the instance of the just take support class provides instance of do stat. To create the tag handler, we are inheriting the tag support class and overriding. This is a predefined method. Do start tag is a predefined method, and we have to override. And whatever you want to write it, there only you have to write it. There are some other things where you have to talk about, say, custom tags. So, but previously what we have discussed is very basic. So what I would like to set some attributes, what my tag should contain some attributes also. Attributes are something like my cube is my tag, and M is my core, the tag prefix, and I would like to use a number as an attribute. So to use this number, what I have to do in my class. So public class private int number I have created, and I have written some set number. There's no get method, I think. Yeah, there's no get method. So only set I have created, and in the out.print I'm writing some logic. What is that number into number into number? So that means when I say cube number, for this I'm going to give in the TLD one name. When I call this cube or something, so directly it returns to me that number into number into number. But the thing is, how do you set it in the TLD file? So there must be something you're going to give. Okay, this is my name of that cube and the attribute I have. So when I have attribute, what I have to do? So that means that is a property in the class. So you have to use attribute, and what is the name of your attribute? You can use X, Y, Z, whatever. So, but see, and whether it has to assign or not assign. So I want to make it compulsory. When I want to make it compulsory, I'm going to give required is good.
Required.
So that means the tags, not only the tags creation, we have the tags creation, and also we can have attributes also. Likewise, some other possibilities. What are the other possibilities? Iteration, if you want to perform custom URI. So there are a couple of things. In deep, if you go, there are many other things. He has given some basics, which is required. So vast again. So but that much is not required.
Okay.
Registration index user. So here he is taking a Dow class. So will you try this, Jyoti?
I guess I tried this. This code example did I do? Yeah. I guess this one I did.
You
This
have tried
one.
this?
One. I have to check which one did I do, which code example. I did one code. I don't know which.
Okay.
I guess this one only I did.
You're getting the flow right, actually. The flow is important. Developing
Yeah.
applications, downloading, running is not important for us. The flow, where it is going, how the call is happening, what is happening. So
Hmm.
one application if you are developing manually so that you'll be getting to know all things. Registration, login form, uploading a file. I would like to upload a file. So what I have to do? Form I have. So input image, type equal to image, src, main upload.png it seems. From where it has to read. Main upload.png. What is it? You must be post request. Encode type, multipart. Multipart it is encryption type. It is not HTML or CSS. Upload to Jsp page. Form page import for relay multipart request. This we have to see. It's a different scenario. There is no database also. It's only JSP, but we never use only JSP. Here is doing manually, but we will be storing in the database. Has given a direct source. No, that's not there. We have to get it from the database. From the database, you have to store it to the database from the location, and again you have to retrieve from the database location to your local system. But here he didn't use, he is directly showing the source and all that. Downloading a file. It's a reverse order. We will be working with anyway these things with our Spring technology. We don't need them. Perform on-CRUD applications with the JSP and with the Servlet. That is very important. All the things will be covered. So JSP, any questions, Jyoti? So as part of MVC, what is the role of JSP? JSP is used as a presentation purpose or view
Mm-hmm.
presentation or view we call it as. Model means your Java
Yeah,
bean
yeah.
class. Controller means your servlets.
You said applets I can skip, right?
We don't require
Okay.
core, servlets, JSPs. These 3 days work on core, servlets, JSPs. The next direct attack we are going to do is the next session will be
Spring. Oh,
the net.
I thought Spring.
Okay, you want me to teach Spring directly? We'll start up Spring. In the middle
No,
also, you can.
I don't know which comes first.
No, that's okay. JDBC we know, right? So in the middle also, Spring with Hibernate we have some application. So there, I can teach you. Spring ORM we call it as. So
I
there I
have
can.
no idea on Spring and Hibernate. It's okay, we'll go with Hibernate and then Spring.
No, that's not a problem. We can still go with the Spring. In the middle, we have a connectivity with the Hibernate. There, I'll teach you. That's not a
Okay.
problem. Basic important things we go. Anyway, you got it all the things basics and all. Now it's time to go with the Spring, and then Spring Hibernate. We can see in the anyway in combination we have this. So we have
Okay.
to. That's a different. Hibernate is a different technology. So Spring is not a simple technology. It's a combination of technology. It is not a separate technology. It is what you have learned with the JSPs, what you have learned in the H servlets, what you have learned in the JDBC. So all the things together, how to integrate, how the integrations are happening. So that's what the Spring talks about.
I
Are
mean,
you getting?
when we work in an actual project,
Hmm.
we'll be using Spring and all much, right? When compared to, the
Yeah,
proper core Java coding.
yeah. So, but these are all the standards. Core, servlets, JSPs. Without these
Okay.
standards, if you learn Spring, there is no point.
Yeah.
Standards are important. We will
Mm-hmm.
not be getting to know. But Spring also we have fifth version, sixth version, but we need to learn third version. Third
Oh,
version is XML based first, and then you need to go for fifth version because fifth version is completely annotations. You'll not understand what is this and how. But if you go with the
okay.
third, XML configuration will be there. Still, there
Okay.
are annotations in the third version also, but not comparatively that
Cool.
much. Fourth is annotations. Fifth is completely annotations. That means they are upgrading with annotations. They're skipping XML.
Okay.
That's the only thing. The Spring. If any seventh version has come means they're upgrading with the annotations only. New annotations. They'll skip some lines of coding again. All
Okay.
the things automatic. But the thing is, standard we need to get it. At least we need to learn three. So three, if you learn the standards you'll be getting, and then go for any higher version. That's the thing. See, without learning XML configuration with Sublet, if you learn native web Sublet, you don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
Why it has been and what is a context param, what is init param. Without configuring the XML, if you go with the context param annotations and context init param annotation, you will not understand what are those. So that's the reason the base we have to see. Servlets XML things you have to go, and then go with the annotations. See all the annotations alternate context param annotations how to use. There are examples directly straight away you'll get it. Java2s.com, there is a site. Uh,
Okay.
ballet dung ballet dung.com. Ballet dung is also a good site. And what is that? Java docs, Java 2s, Java docs, ballet dung, and there is one more person. He's also famous. I'm not getting. So that is also the site for the Spring. Majorly, you have to concentrate Spring, Spring Boot, Angular. That's enough. Here, your focus should be required. All the applications, manual development, we have to see. The flow, nothing. See, there is only the complicated technology. Out of all the technologies, is only core Java. Spring, these are all nothing. Only flow. Servlets is also flow. From where to where, where to where, where to where. Where to where I have to configure what. JSP is also play. What I have to use the shortcuts. But Spring,
Yeah.
the core Java is a actual technology anyone focuses on because there are a lot many things. We know something, but there are that's a standard technology where all the objects and all like strings, static, final, what are the complete uses of that? Inherit when we go for inheritance concepts. So the stuff is there over there. And these are all the things flows, connectivity, Spring with the JDBC, how the application will be running, how the connectivity will be happening, how do you configure your XML file? That's the thing. This is a flow maintenance, Spring framework. Simple, but you need much focus. That's Spring, and on that Spring layer, on top of the Spring layer, we have Spring Boot. Like C, we have on top of C, we have C++. So C++ is a technology, but Spring Boot is not a technology. Spring itself is not a technology because it is a combination of technologies. So that means Spring is on layer on JDBC, on Core Java, on JSP, on servlets, on Hibernate, and on struts. And this is a layer when you say all the things. Again, Spring Boot is a layer on the Spring technology. That means it's going to give some more flexibility to avoid the coding. Any technology has come means nothing but it is going to avoid the coding part by using some configurations skipping, Maven configuration skipping, all this automatic Maven configuration. So did
It
I
looks
show you
so
Maven?
vast.
I'm sorry.
It looks so vast, Spring.
Yeah, yeah, applications, no. So we'll be natural track. Now, one more thing. Mm, yeah, there is something called JPA. I have to teach you. Next thing is Spring, Spring with the JPA, Spring with Hibernate, Spring Boot, and Angular. Hope you are aware of Oracle Server and MySQL Server.
On the database, right?
Yeah, yeah.
MySQL, yeah.
You know how to create a table, insert, deletion,
Yeah,
updation, CRUD
yeah,
operation. Okay.
yeah.
Sometimes you also need to know procedures. Have you heard about procedures anytime?
The business logic in MySQL, stored procedures.
Sorry?
Stored procedures, you mean?
Mm,
I've,
stored
I've
procedure.
heard,
Correct, correct.
I've heard of them, but I haven't done like
So
myself.
work on the procedures, how to create a procedure, how to use the procedures in the JDBC. Write down them these things important. Procedures, they'll ask you some questions. Procedures with the JDBC, how do you call the procedures within the database with the Java technology in the JDBC at least. Okay, if I have a registration form, I have written some procedures. You'll get it many examples. Very important. Procedures are very important, and database with subqueries, procedures and subqueries. By next class, I wanted you to perfect with core servlets, JSP, and procedures. Okay, and that's it. Collections are all the way important. We have to You have to be very focused on collections. It's very much important. Collections, examples, practice, only practice. There's no other thing. Implementation, anything, you'll get it by your practice only. Everything should be implemented. You have to run the application. And another thing is Maven. Did I teach you Maven?
No, you said we'll do it later.
Okay, okay. So this is the time to work with the Maven technology. And what else Maven is required? What else we require? Log4j. What is Log4j? And the JUnit testing. Have you done any type of JUnit testing before?
No,
No, right?
no.
No, write down these things. JUnit and Log4j and Maven.
For J?
And Maven. They're all 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour topics. They're not topics also, we can say. When you're developing your project, no additional tools. It's like when you're preparing some food item, so you need some ingredients and all. So it's all something like that. Okay,
Okay.
so you need to add to make it more effective and delicious. It's also the same. You want to make it application perfect and what do you say, uh, productive and independent, more productivity. How you want to get it and uh, independency. So there are a couple of things. In that case, we need to use JUnit. This is a developer part, whatever I'm telling. JUnit means some unit testing work from your side. From loggers, you have to fix like errors. Log4j, we need for that. Log4j and Maven. So have a look into that. If you get a free time, just have a look. I'll give you a couple of examples. They are 1 hour, 1 hour topics, simple topics, not much.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
So, okay, any questions so far? These are the things, and Monday we'll start up with freshly with the spring. And
Okay.
okay, remind me with the JUnit. Sometimes we have to discuss these things. So if we can forget, so that will be ended, and then somewhere we'll be forgetting the things. Okay, so
Sure,
we
sure.
shouldn't do that. And in the meanwhile, if you have a chance to look into that, okay.
Sure.
And
Sure.
procedures, yeah, so told you, just have a look. Okay, how do you
Mm-hmm.
call the procedures in the Java in the JDBC? These things are
Mm-hmm.
very important. And subqueries, procedures and subqueries, because when you're developing a project, subqueries are very important. Procedures are very important. Database part, functions are very important. So go through them. Okay, and if you find any difficulty, please let.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Jyoti. Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you.
I'll see you on Monday then.
Okay. Okay.
I think we missed Monday class, right? Last Monday.
Yeah.
So shall we have the session tomorrow?
Up to you, I don't mind.
Okay, you have a good time. You just go through these things. Okay, so
Okay,
meanwhile,
sure.
once if you are done all these things,
Yeah,
Monday we
actually, if I brush up all these once, we can start with Spring, nice,
okay.
on Monday.
Right, see
Yeah.
you then Monday, Jyoti. Thank you.